Good afternoon. Welcome to Wildly Domestic. Today we are going to make a broccoli salad. Now, as it is coming into the spring, there'll be lots of picnics and Easter things and gatherings and whatnot that are going to be coming up. So this will be something good that you can take with you. Now, I will give you a warning if you are vegan or vegetarian. There is bacon in this. Even though I do eat a predominantly plant-based diet, bacon is one of my big weaknesses. I do love bacon. The particular brand that I buy is Applegate Naturals, and it is uncured, so that means it's nitrate-free. And the pork that it comes from, they are sustainably farmed, and they are allowed space to roam and things like that, and antibiotic-free. So even though it is meat and bacon, I'm at least trying to, stick with my ethical choices about where it comes from and how it's prepared. If you are vegan or vegetarian, feel free to substitute soy bacon or something like that, or just leave the bacon out completely. Again, you can also substitute turkey bacon if that's what you prefer. But we're going to start with the broccoli. This is about 2 heads of raw broccoli, and I just cut up into little teeny bite-sized pieces, and we're going to put that in our big giant bowl here. Set that aside. Then we've got our bacon. Now this is the equivalent of 3 slices of bacon. I cooked it on a cast iron skillet. You don't have to use that. You can use whatever pan you have until it was really nice and crispy. At that point, I put it on the paper towel to dry, to blot, to soak up the oils, and then I just picked up the paper towel and just rolled it into a ball and scrunched it up until we got the nice little bacon crumbles here. So that's, to me, I think that's a lot easier than cutting up the bacon. So it gets a little bit of grease on your hands, but that never hurt anybody. So we've got our bacon in there. And then I have red onions. This is approximately 1/8 to 1/4 cup of red onions. I can tell you I cut about a 1/2 inch thick slice off of a red onion and then just diced it up. You want these to be fairly small because you don't want to get big giant chunks of onion. It's more for the flavor than for anything else. So we'll add our onion in here. And as you can see, this is, except for the bacon, this is not cooked. It's served cold. It's served chilled. So that makes it really convenient for outdoor gatherings and picnics and things like that. Okay, so we almost got all our onion here. There we go. That's all our onion. We'll scoot that over. And then we have a cup of raisins. So this adds a nice little bit of sweetness to counteract and counterbalance the saltiness from the bacon and the sort of tanginess from the onion, like the sort of well, whatever you'd call onion flavor, spicy, tangy, however you'd say that. And then for a little bit of crunch, we'll add a cup of sunflower seeds. I think I have a cup in here, so I'm just going to skip the measuring and just pour what I have left in this jar in. Now I use sunflower seeds because I am allergic to tree nuts and peanuts. The original recipes that you find of broccoli salad usually call for pecans or walnuts, so if you don't have any nut allergies, feel free to substitute whatever other nut or seed that you prefer. Now it calls for, going to put in 1/2 cup of mayo. So this is, the brand I use is Duke's. Predominantly because it doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup in it. It's very difficult to get a mayonnaise that is completely healthy. Even if you go to Whole Foods the mayonnaise is there. They're going to have canola oil in them, which you know, isn't exactly the best oil for you to use, because it is, when you're looking for an oil, you really want to find something that's high in omega-3s naturally and lower in omega-6s, but and it's not processed through heat. So basically you'd want to stick to like olive oils, coconut oils, you know, things like fish oil, things that naturally are kind of oily, and there doesn't have to be a lot of processing to get the oil from. Canola is from rapeseed. So it's these little tiny seeds that that they extract the oil from. So it is a bit of a process, so it's really not the best oil, but it's extremely difficult to find a mustard, or excuse me, a mayonnaise that doesn't have canola in it. So, you know, I look around, I do what I can, I try and find the mayonnaise that at least doesn't have high fructose corn syrup or sugar in it or anything like that, and that has ingredients that I recognize. You can always make your own mayonnaise if you prefer. Again, this is another reason why it's not completely vegan. You know, mayonnaise does have eggs, but for those vegetarians that do choose to have eggs, this could be something that you could use. So we'll just get our mayonnaise in here. Scoop that right in. As I was measuring it out, it probably was a little bit closer to 3/4 of a cup than 1/2 a cup, which is fine because it's you just want to make sure your salad has a nice kind of moist consistency to it, kind of like a potato salad, but not quite as you know, not quite as squishy, if you will. So then I'm going to do just a little bit of raw sugar. This kind of helps balance out the flavors and give it a good overall, just a little bit of sweetness. If you want, you can always leave out the sugar. Usually if recipes do call for sugar, I cut back on them personally because I don't like things to be super sweet and I don't want to be eating a lot of sugar. But I'm just doing a little less than a teaspoon of sugar here, so throw that in on top. And then lastly, to counterbalance the sugar, some cider vinegar. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of the cider vinegar, because we want this to be kind of like a sort of like a deli salad. The first place that I ever saw broccoli salad was at one of my favorite markets ever. I used to live in Atlanta briefly, and there's a market there called DeKalb Market, which is just outside Decatur, and they had one of the best broccoli salads ever. And I've been trying to find a recipe to replicate that, and so after looking around doing some research, I sort of came up with my own based on what you see here, and so we're just going to go with it and see how good it tastes and how close it is to the original that I liked so much in DeKalb Market. So now that we have all our ingredients in here, we're just going to mix everything together. And just as a note, the broccoli was it was organic. I don't recall if it was local or not. I think it might have been, but don't quote me on that, especially since I got it from Whole Foods. I don't remember. The raisins were organic as well. The mayonnaise was not, but the apple cider vinegar was, and the sugar is organic raw sugar. So, and the sunflower seeds are also organic and raw. So, and of course we've discussed where the bacon was from. Okay, so now as you can kind of see, we are getting a really good deli salad looking consistency here. See, you can see how it's all coming together quite nicely, and the mayonnaise is spreading out all throughout. And you just want to make sure that you kind of dig down there into the bottom so all the little pieces of sunflower seed and onion and raisin and bacon and all that get really evenly mixed throughout. While I was formulating this recipe and doing my research, I did see a lot of versions of the broccoli salad that called for shredded cheese. So if that's something that you eat or something that you like, feel free to put a little bit of shredded cheddar in here. It looks fantastic. It looks like it would work very well. So if that's something that you're into, go right ahead. Okay. And it looks like everything is blended throughout. Just give it one more turn and flip over here. And now, and got a little extra seeds and whatnot stuck on there. Just stir that in. And now for the taste test. Make sure I get a little bit of everything on my spoon here. That's really yummy. That is super, super yummy. So, this is a recipe that, you know, like I said, perfect for potluck gatherings, and, you know, it's really customizable. You can add extra things, take out things, substitute things, and it's still going to come out tasting really good. So, that's this week's recipe here, the broccoli salad. Thank you so much for watching, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.